Hi boys and girls, for this video I am going to show you how to use this Jamboard to map out a story. So you just finished watching a YouTube video that reviewed a story plot with you, and it did a really nice job of talking about the order in which things normally take place in a story. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take a familiar story, a story that you know really well, and you're going to think deeply about it. And what you're going to do is you're going to follow the steps just like Miss O'Connell. You're going to kind of play copycat, but with the story of your choice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come over here. This is going to be your favorite place when you use this tool. It's the kind of like the toolbox. It gives you all of the different things that you can use when you're using a Jamboard. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose to use the pen. I might choose a different type of pen, but for me, I'm just going to stick with the regular pen, and I'm going to stick with the black color. I'm going to make sure that it's highlighted so I know that that's the tool I'm using, and I can go ahead and circle the story that I'm going to map out. So for me, I'm going to start by circling the Charlotte's Web. This isn't an option for you because I, of course, have already done it. So you're going to do one of the other stories. You're either going to circle the Three Little Pigs, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, or Little Red Riding Hood. So those are the three stories that you could choose from. For me, I went ahead and I circled Charlotte's Web. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to use this text box feature in order to fill out this organizer. It's really helpful. So watch this. I can click on text box, and I can come up here and I can click on the setting, and I can fill out where my story takes place. So for me, I'm talking about Charlotte's Web. My story takes place on Zuckerman's farm. So I can go ahead and I can write Zuckerman's farm. I can take my text box and I can pull it across, and I can make it fit perfectly where I need it to. So Zuckerman's farm. We know that the story starts in spring and that it should take about a year, right? We know that the story starts in spring, and right now we suspect that the story is going to take us until at least almost Christmas time, potentially. We're not sure. So we're going to say that it at least starts in spring, but we're not sure when it ends. For you, you might know when a story takes place, okay? So you might be able to say when a story takes place. If not, at least say where the story takes place for your setting. Mine, I know, takes place on Zuckerman's farm. My characters next. I can take my text box again. I want to make sure it's highlighted. Again, I do have to click the text box to make another one. I'm going to click here, and I can start to list my my characters. You can drag the text box by just clicking on it and pulling it wherever you want to put it. So I'm going to want to put it here, and I can list my characters. Wilbur, Charlotte, Templeton, Fern, Homer, Lurvy, and it looks a little funny and you might panic and say, oh, it doesn't fit. But if you actually go ahead and take the side and you pull it to wherever you want it to go, it fits perfectly on the line, which is kind of cool. So you can go ahead and move it around however you want it to in order to make it fit. Wilbur, Charlotte, Templeton, Fern, Homer, Lurvy. You know the drill, all of those different characters. Next, what's the problem of our story? Well, for us, we know this because we talk about it almost daily. So I'm going to take my text box and I'm going to go ahead and start to fill that out. Again, I can once I click on it, I can move my text box anywhere I want it to go. So there's no problem. Once you create it, if you're like, oh, I really didn't mean to make it there, just move it. So I went ahead and I'm going to move it. And for us, we know the problem is that Wilbur is to be killed around Christmas time. We know that Wilbur is to be killed around Christmas time. That is the problem of our story. So far, there have been 3 events that we are looking forward to. So there have been 3 events that we were looking forward to that have actually been really helpful and great events because Charlotte has helped us out a lot along the way. Now for these ones, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to take your text box, you're going to click right on event 1, and you can start to fill it out. So what has happened so far? Well, Charlotte's first web. And in her first web, she writes some pig. So I went ahead and I wrote that right in, and I can take it and make it fit perfectly. And then when I go like this, it fits right on the line. Now, again, the bottom part's not perfect, but you get the drill. Now she's going to have a second web. I can go ahead and fill that in with the text box, fill it right in. Do you remember what she writes in her second text box? The word is terrific. Or in her second text box, in her second web, Charlotte's next web, she says terrific. Again, I can move that around, make it fill it in nicely. And then her third one is radiant. And I can move that in and fill it right in. And now we don't know the solution yet, but we are hoping that Charlotte's webs can, we are hoping that Charlotte's webs will convince Zuckerman to let Wilbur live. And now that text box looks totally crazy, but I'm not going to panic. I'm going to make it nice and long, and I'm going to re-drag it down here, and I'm going to make it fit. And if it's not perfect, I can line it up so that I can still see it. I can make it a little bit smaller again, and it should fit just fine. Might take a couple of times, but you'll get great at practicing it. And there we go. Now I finished my whole page. I was able to successfully fill out my story map. So you're going to do the exact same thing, boys and girls. Now, if you are struggling and you need help, take a look at this. I actually have left my work on the next slide. So if you're like, oh no, I forget what I need to do, you can go ahead and check my work out, or you can rewatch this video. Good luck.